I'm gonna have to figure out how to use my tablet to do this. So I'm not using my cell phone. But listen, I'm in the kitchen. It's early afternoon, late morning, and I feel like biscuits. Thought I'd bring you on a little journey with me. Got lard. I have a pizza stone that I'm gonna put the biscuits on. Cold water. That's for spraying the pizza stone. Clearly I need flour. I have 2 leaveners. I happen to like it with 2 leaveners. I just have to cook it a little longer. And just a tad of salt, making it in a glass bowl so you can come on the journey with me. So guys, right here what we have is about my best estimated guess at about 1.5 cups of flour. Listen, a lot of times I try to share knowledge in a video, but this time I'm just sharing my journey with you because it's kind of an experiment. I've made biscuits before, but never with the measurements. So about 1.5 cups of flour, literally an 1/8 tablespoon of salt. I have both leaveners at about 1 tablespoon each. And I don't know, what is that? About 2 tablespoons of lard. And these measurements may change because what I'm looking for at this particular point is going to be a crumbly consistency. I've always heard it described like sand. So I'll show you when I get there. I'm hoping you can see this. Maybe I am going to be able to share some knowledge. So you squish the flour and the fat, whatever fat agent you use. I'm choosing lard today. Through your fingers and smush it around and let's see if I can show you. Until it turns into, this is a pebbly consistency. It's no longer just flour. So you kind of just squish this through your fingers this way. And then you could put both hands in and kind of make a rubbing motion. And you make your flour into pebbly. And the knowledge part is the fat will create rising in or flaking in the biscuit. And that's what you want in a decent biscuit. Some flaking. So that is where we are when we are done rubbing the fat, in this case lard, through the flour and the raising agents and the salt. So then I just want to make this well in the middle of the bowl. I'm not doing much because I have no exact recipe, so I don't want to have too much of something that isn't done well, but I'm pretty confident that I can make a biscuit. Put some water in there. And then we will begin to work the flour into the water and eventually come up with a dough that I'm going to show you. So here's what I'm looking for. When I'm done working the water into the flour and those other ingredients, you know, the raising agents and the salt and the lard, I'm looking for a dough that comes together, and it starts to come together and you'll all of a sudden realize it. You have to be careful when you're adding the water. I want to go a little bit at a time. You don't necessarily want this sticky, but if it were falling apart, see these flakes here? This could indicate dryness, but it's not falling apart. Still holds together and so because I've got these raising agents in there, I'm going to let this rest for just a few moments, and then we'll be back and we'll roll out some biscuits. So here's the dough after it's rested for just a little bit. Might be a little unorthodox to do this on wax paper, but my countertops are a little moist. And I need things to be dry so that I can roll out just a few biscuits. I have floured my surface, the dough, and my rolling pin. That there's the oven preheating at about 375. So I saw this method on TV, a YouTube channel. He folds the flattened dough out and never flattening it too much. I'm going to go one more fold. So this is 3 folds. The point is to get a really high rise in the biscuit. I'm going to roll this out a little bit, but 3 folds. So I rolled it out a little bit. And okay, I'm going to confess, I used a cup. My biscuit cutter's in the downstairs packed away, and I don't want to go down there looking for it. So I used a cup. It works perfectly well. And I'm going to roll out a few more biscuits. So here we are.